Hey everyone, welcome back. It's a new year. 2021 is here. Hopefully it's off to a really good start for you. And as we start the new year, obviously at GasBuddy, one of our resolutions is to help you save money at the pump. So what better way to start off the new year than reminding you of some of the ways that most Americans, hopefully not our gas buddies, spend too much money at the pump. Now, before we get into these tips on how not to waste money at the pump, how about a quick overview for what is going on at the pump? So far, obviously this year, I think most of us have noticed gas prices are on the up and up. The national average up about 19% since the start of November alone. The national average now at its highest level in over a year at $2.47 a gallon. Now, get this. The price of oil, on the other hand, is up 65% over the same time. So those of us who like to say gas prices went up faster than oil, well, in this case, the price of oil's gone through the roof and it stands at about $59 a barrel today. And a lot of this, well, keep in mind last year, 2020, gas prices were mostly steady over the course of the year because of the pandemic. But now with vaccines starting to roll out and other countries starting to see recovery in their oil demand, oil prices are going up. And keep in mind, OPEC and U.S. oil producers are not producing as much as they were a year ago. And that is providing the catalyst for what we're seeing with gas prices going up. So back to this study. We did a study, of course, of our great GasBuddy users, thanks to those who participated. 2,300 people, and found that a third of you are caring more about spending less at the pump this year during the pandemic. It's probably because a lot of us have been hit very hard. The economy kind of in shambles because of the COVID pandemic. People looking to save money, and what better way to do that than not spend as much money on gasoline? The bad part is that people are still practicing the same bad behaviors at the pump. We've talked about them before, and still costing some of you $300 a year. I'd really love to see how many of you that are watching right now actively shop for gasoline on every single purchase, because I think the number one thing we found from this study was that 83% of Americans still are not price shopping when they go to fill up, meaning they just go to the station. Prices may seem cheap. Come on, is it ever really cheap enough? And they fill up, and then they go down the street and they find, hey, prices are actually 15 cents a gallon lower. How many of this have that happen where you go down the road and boom, prices all of a sudden way cheaper down the road. You hit your head in the steering wheel. You should have used GasBuddy, and that behavior can cost you up to $200 a year. So keep in mind, especially with prices going up, to check prices around you. You may not get the best deal, but at least you'll know if that corner station is on the high side or on the low side. So always fire up the GasBuddy app. That's what we're here for. Like I said, doesn't take that long, maybe 10 or 15 seconds to check what prices are around you. Now, the second tip, not so many people are guilty of this one, but loyalty programs. Are you signed up for a loyalty program? Almost all the time, they're free. You see their applications inside the gas station. Sign up for a loyalty card, especially if it can save you. A lot of gas stations do a couple cents off per gallon. And of course, if you save by shopping around a couple $100 a year, that couple cents from loyalty is icing on the cake. So it all does add up. I know it only seems like a few cents a gallon, but it doesn't take very long to do. The other issue, as we start to get back to school and work, is that Americans are going to the same gas station. It may be convenient. We're creatures of habit, right? You're on your commute. You always stop at the same gas station. Maybe you get a cup of coffee. Maybe you get some food inside. But most often, I'm just going to throw out a guess here, 99% of the time, the station you go to is not going to be the cheapest around you. It may be nicer, but you end up spending $20, $40, $60 more per year because you're going to the same station and you're not really shopping around. And lastly, I think the other way to save that has probably risen in popularity the last 5 or 10 years, maybe the last 15 years, credit cards, debit cards. There's all sorts of ways to save when you're making the payment Of course, we've all heard about those travel rewards cards or whatever credit cards offering gas rebates. But here's the thing about those. If you don't pay your bill off in full, as many Americans are struggling to do in this COVID pandemic, you're not getting rewarded at all. You're giving the bank your hard-earned rewards in the form of interest payments. So of course, that brings us next to the debit card. Only 24% of Americans use debit cards to fill up, but if you didn't know, GasBuddy has a card that links with your checking account and can save you up to 25 cents a gallon if you use a deal alert. We have a lot of deal alerts out there. Gas stations are partnering and offering you further incentive. And guess what? The money comes right out of your checking account, so you don't lose it paying back interest and fees. A great partnership. I encourage you to check it out. That's what we're all about, saving you money at the pump. So check out the Pay with GasBuddy card if you haven't already. We had a lot of new people sign up in 2020. I hope everyone's enjoying it. But that's really it, you know? Get outside the shell, shop around when you need to fill up, and be prepared because prices are likely to go higher in the years ahead. Again, sign up for the free Pay with GasBuddy card, and hopefully it won't be quite as bad of a 2021. We have a lot more details coming up on where we expect prices to go. But for now, we're going to sign off. Be prepared for higher prices. Shop around. Use GasBuddy. Use a price comparison app. And we'll see you next time right back here. Bye-bye.